Hello everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you are one of my returning friends, I thank you so much for coming back. I can't believe this is the first video of 2024, and I feel like I've never done this before. I just feel really rusty. Today I am going to be doing the first week in the Margarete Miller Challenge 2024. I am a little bit late. This is the first week, which should have been last week, but I'm just taking January to try to get caught up with a lot of things. So within the next couple of weeks, I'll be all caught up. But before I begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to some of you gals who have sent me some happy mail. I received a card from Joy, which is just delightful, and I will put that in my Christmas junk journal for next year. I received a gift kind of package from Shay, who made this lovely little pillow. I just think it's so sweet. And then, of course, Barbie is just so good to me with her happy mail. She makes these little pads. She's over on Nellie and Ruth Designs. And I mean, isn't this just the sweetest? If I can get it, I tied it up there last night. It's a little lilac flip out with all kinds of little mason jars, little flowers. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So she sent me that, as well as some die cuts. For some reason, when I opened that up, it reminded me of my mother. And a cute little gift box with some of my favorite tea, which is apple cinnamon. And then Luann sent me a little gift envelope as well. And when I opened that up, it was the bees. And of course, my mom's favorite saying to me was, "Be happy." So I have some of these gorgeous bees, which I will use in Victorian Junk Journal that I'll be starting kind of after, I was going to say after Christmas, into the winter. But let's get to our challenge. So the prompts today are something associated with water, a portion of a poem or song you enjoy, pattern paper, something that's usually kept cold, and a light shade of blue. The bonus is an unusual symbol or shape. So I was just deliberating, and one of the things that was kind of holding me back from getting started was I just couldn't decide what I wanted to use as my journal. So I went over to the thrift store the other day, and this book fell into my hands, and immediately I thought, I want to use this book for my challenge. The other options that I had was I was just going to use a multimedia pad, a ringed one. I was actually just going to do some loose sheets and then bind them in myself, either with a ring binder or a wire. And I kept putting out different notebooks, and I just kept coming back to this. So I want to make this work. I will be taking out some of the pages, but some of these illustrations I'll just keep in my journal. Maybe not this guy with the gun, but and maybe put a little spot where I can actually do some journaling. So maybe I'll use this as a collage glue book as well as a journal. So I thought I would start. I didn't really give it enough thought of where I would start. I kind of like Piggy there. Maybe I'll start here on these pages. Well, actually, I wouldn't mind leaving that too. So let's start here. So I'm just going to start by putting down some different patterned paper. I thought maybe the lighting's not that great here right now. I usually do my videoing in the daytime, and this is nighttime. So I don't have the lighting just right, but we'll have to make it work because I want to. I kind of would like to leave this on the side. So let me get out my trimmer, and maybe I'll just take down just a bit on this edge here. So my thought process on this is that I'll leave a little border on the inside about a half an inch, And then if I decide that the book is getting too full, then I can just actually slice that out, and then I can bind it in with the ring binder or something kind of later. So I was thinking of making the pages about 8 inches wide or so. And the other thing I want to try to do with the prompts this year is, I don't know, maybe I try to do themes. So I'm going to continue on with that. Okay, so then for this page here, I'm just going to use some tape runner to tape that down. It doesn't need to be heavily fastened. I do want it to put a little bit of tape down the middle, just so that it doesn't pop up. This is actually very good tape. Chester, I just fed you. You just had some water and a cuddle. Now, you cannot be demanding all of my time and attention. Yeah, I know. Okay, so I want to bring that right over, and I do like it to kind of line up a little bit. So it looks a bit okay. So then on this side, I kind of found this piece of paper that I had just from one of my paper pads, and I like the light blue flowers. I'll probably be covering up the rest of this, but it does have a pattern of lines, and I do like the kind of light blue, which fits with the theme. One of the prompts is a light shade of blue. So my theme for this week is going to be winter, but the kind of like not monotone, but the blue feel of winter, I guess. And when it comes together, which hopefully I will, then at the end, it will all kind of look like something. Okay, so that's some of my paper. I also have another bit of paper, which has some light blues in it. So I thought I would put that down. I also have something associated with water. I got this out of one of the magazines, and it has a frozen lake, which is water, and then snow, of course. And so I think I'm going to put that up in the corner there. I had debated using the back of this because this is kind of like a light blue as well, or there's light blue in it. But I liked that kind of wintry foliage kind of peeking out the top there. And then, so there's my something associated with water, as well as this kind of reminds me of water. If you live in a cold climate like I do, this looks something like a frost pattern that you might see maybe on the windshield of your car, on the lake. So I kind of liked that. And there's also shades of blue. So I'm thinking maybe I'll put it like right around there. I'm sure it'll all work out in the end. Today is January 5th. And we are expecting a winter snowstorm tomorrow. So I'll need to move my car and get prepared to shovel. So I'm kind of thinking that would go there. And then another piece of pattern paper, which I just kind of liked. And it kind of went a little bit on theme with that top one, is this little one here. So I'm thinking that I don't need all of that, that will just get that down. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And we are getting into winter mode now, that's for sure. Okay, so I kind of like that. And then I also found these little blue flowers. I didn't find them. That's a digi-kit. And I can't remember which kit that it was. But I thought that the light blue shade of blue with that was just gorgeous. So I was thinking that I might just get that done. Okay, so I need to get, now this might not go over well because sometimes this heavy tape runner. Doesn't go good on glossy like that magazine, but it's okay. Oop. And I can't see where I've got stuff. So let's just go with a little bit of glue. So I do use Elmer's glue. It's the strong old. You can get this, just the school glue, but I find that has more water content than the strong old glue. And when you put water and paper together, of course, you get warping. So you want to try to avoid that. Right. So where'd my flowers go? So let's kind of stick those maybe there, because the poem that I have is actually about a poem by Christina, I think it's Rossetti, and she wrote this in 1872, and it's in the bleak midwinter, which is originally, I think it was called A Christmas Carol, but I've put the first verse and the second verse, the last verse. And it's in the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan, earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow, in the bleak midwinter long ago. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? Give my heart. So I just really love that. So I thought that would be my poem, and so I'm thinking either that's going to go, if that goes under, I'm going to be cutting out a lot of the flower. I'm kind of thinking I kind of like it like that, maybe over there, because the other thing, or maybe not at all, that I have is I have a couple snowflakes. You could say that they are an unusual shape, because every snowflake is different. But I also have my heart to give to him. So I thought that I could put like the snowflake up there, and then I could put a snowflake there. So then I really don't think, maybe I don't need that. Or maybe what I need is just to cut it down a little bit. So let's just do a little bit of fussy cutting. And we'll take out, because what the issue that I'm having with this is I'm feeling that it's bringing too much white into the collage. So if we just take it down so that there's not so much white, then I think that I would enjoy it better. You know, and at the end of the day, your collage should make you happy. No, I don't like that either. I kind of liked it better the other way. Well, let's just leave it at that for now. And I'll get back to that side because I want to work a little bit on this side. And I do have some more of those flowers that I thought I could do like a blue theme at the bottom with that. And that's sort of like a light blue. If you do live in a cold climate, you'll know that some days it's hard to explain. It's just like the whole world is just this haze of gray, bluey, light blue. And it just seems like the whole, you're living in maybe like, not a snow globe, because I kind of think of that more as white, but, and then something usually kept cold. Well, I'm saying snow because, in snowflakes, because if it wasn't kept cold, then it wouldn't be snow, I guess. But sometimes you melt the snow, especially if you're out in the wilderness and you need a drink. But these little birds who are enjoying kind of the winter snow, I got from my Margarete Baston 2023 desk calendar. I really love that. And then I had some other images that I found. And this one here kind of gives you the idea of what I'm talking about. When everything just seems kind of like this really, really, really pale blue white. And that's what the whole world seems to be. I also dug out this little bookmark that I had. We cut out there. Because I thought that that was a good kind of wintry light blue feel as well. So, and then I have a few more snowflakes here. So I'm just trying to get, because I'm not always going to do both pages, but I just want to get beauty is found in life's little moments. Maybe I'll leave that so that we can read it. Because the other thing that I found here, if I can find it in my little stash of stuff, is I found this Come In From the Cold. And I thought that this might work out. Because this has a lot of meanings. It could mean literally come in from the cold, you're freezing. Or it could mean come in from a place where emotionally you're feeling detached or upset or alone. And so I think this kind of went well with the in the bleak midwinter. Yeah, I'm gonna put that somewhere. I think I'll put it over here. Because, you know, you're not alone, no matter how much you may think that you are. And it's just times when you're feeling really lost that just remember that there's somebody looking out for you. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking that would go there. Maybe there. Come in from the cold. And then I have my heart that I'm going to give to him. And then, so then I've got my little birds, which I think are just so lovely there on the little branch. And that little bird. And I'm just going to do this like a montage of little things. My first collage of 2024. I have high hopes for this year. I kind of like something like that. Kind of liking that because it kind of reminds me of, you know, tacking things onto a bulletin board. So I do kind of like that. I do like to tuck my prompt underneath things. So I'm going to tuck it under this one. One of the things I found this year that I don't know if I'd say I was a little disappointed in, because it doesn't really matter. I don't look at the prompts once I do them unless I have to. But last year the prompts were all in this little decorative box. And this year they were all just, you know, when I cut them out, they're all different shapes and sizes. And I kind of like things uniform. Unfortunately, that's how I roll sometimes. So which one do I want on top and which do I want on bottom? Because, you know, it does make a difference. Everything that you place down, in my mind, has a place. I think that's about life too. And it's just a matter of finding that place. I watched this movie today. It's one of my favorite movies, but every time I watch it, I cry. And it's called Forget Me Not with Tobias Menzies in it. It's an older movie when he was younger. And always makes me cry. So why do you watch it? I don't know, because I like the movie. There's just something about the movie. And I must say I didn't really like him in Outlander. I didn't like his character. He was an excellent actor. Which probably was half the problem. But I loved him in that movie. So this one here, that doesn't matter. So then I just love this. This again was from a DigiKit. I think this is gorgeous. So let's just get that down. And then I think we have something associated with water. We have our poem or song. Yeah, I think that's nice. We have lots of patterned paper, something that's usually kept cold. We have lots of light blue. So let's get this down. I still want to go back to this here. No, it just doesn't do it. What about, I've got some smaller ones. Just to maybe give, oh, what about this one here? What about this little one here? It's just more like a border this way. So I will be getting a video out for Friday for my Daphne's Diary. I've got a couple things in mind. I don't have it actually planned out yet, but it's my main goal this week. I am working a lot, but I spent the last couple days, I had 2 days off, and I spent it really deep cleaning, trying to organize my craft room. My craft room is very small, so I can't really work on a lot of different projects at once, which Christmas made it a little bit hard because I was just overwhelmed in here with Christmas stuff, and then trying to do the Daphne's Diary, which I didn't really manage to do much for December because I didn't get the November-December issue until about a week before Christmas. So I'll have it for next year. And there's lots of cute ideas. So that'll be that. Okay, so I've got this little one here. And I'm kind of, see, the issue that I have with these is when I saw them on Etsy, they seemed really vibrant. And then when I printed them out, they just don't. So that's a washout. Let's, what if I just, oh, I kind of like that. See, it's amazing what you can just pick up off your desk, this little scrap that I cut off there, and make it just a little bit of an accent piece. I don't want it like that. I want it like that. And then that kind of frames it a little bit. So you've got something on each corner, which kind of frames my saying. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron. Okay, so then I got that to tack down. Oh, and I have this. So I'm going to put that snowflake just there. And I don't really care if parts of it are lifted up. It actually will give the page a little dimension. And then we'll come in from the cold. I don't really want to cover the mountaintop, but I do want that heart to stand out. What if I cut it up like so, because you don't always have to keep something in its exact form. And this way, I could come in from the cold. Yeah, like that. Okay. So we'll get that down. So one of the things when I was organizing my room, of course, you have a goal, or I have a goal. Okay, today I'm going to sort out this bin and that bin, and I'm going to work on this project. And then you find things, or you're distracted, and you literally go down that rabbit hole. And now I'm not saying it's not productive, but it's kind of like life in that you start off on one journey and never expect the actual journey that's going to happen. I think the adventure is nice. Okay, so we have come in from the cold. Give your heart to him, and he will take your troubles. All right, and then we'll stick that down. And then this heart was actually what I've had this, it's a die cut that I have. A metal thinlet. I think it was from Stampin' Up. And I've used it a lot. Oh, I like that. Okay, so there's that and that. And then I just want to get a couple snowflakes down on this side too. So I was thinking maybe a little bit like that. I need something to break up this whiteness. I like that there. I like that darker one there. So these snowflakes, I actually had a pack from Michael's, I think. They weren't that expensive. And there's like all kinds of snowflakes. I like this one. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do maybe a bigger one. They have giant ones, but I don't really want a giant one. And then they have this one. But what I could do is what if I go like, and make my own, just to take the top bit off. Like so. And just keep going. Keep going around so that it's a little bit smaller. Oops, that one I got. One's way smaller. And then it's not going to take up so much of the... There. So then I could put that one there. Yeah, that would look okay. And then that there. Maybe one there and one down there. That's kind of nice. So we'll get those down. So yeah, so like I was saying, I was organizing the craft room, and I put a little shelf in, which became more of a project than I had anticipated that it was going to be. As it happens, I put two up already, just in back here, to put some of these plastic bins that I have for just collage items, like some of the little images that I use and whatnot. So one of the little bins has my sequins. So I hadn't anticipated using sequins, but I thought, oh, well, I love me a little bit of bling. So I found some little light blue sequins that I thought would just add enough wintry sparkle without adding a lot of dimension, because I'm not going to not put dimension in this, but I got a little carried away, not carried away, but I just, last year I used a lot of different dimensional stuff in the diary, which probably in my collage, which looking back I really love, but it made the book really fat. So, and I don't have a big issue with a chunky monkey, as Debbie on my Vagabond Style would say. There are quite a few other, I don't know how many, but there's a lot of people who are doing challenge as well. So if you use the hashtag 2024CW1, last year it was CWP, so she's changed the hashtag this year. You'll find other people like Barbie over at Nellie and Ruth Designs. She does a lot of, she's very good at collage. And she does some surreal stuff, as does Debbie at My Vagabond Style. So have a look at some of the others, and if you are doing it, feel free to write in the comments that you're doing it as well. Then people may be able to check you out. So I think that's good. So we have all our prompts, and I think that's good for today. I'm really liking how that turned out. So until next week, I hope you stay happy and healthy, and bye for now.